Hello photography, let's look into doing a white balance edit project. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to choose a photo, any photo, doesn't matter. And I guess if you were to be picky, choose a photo that feels either very warm or very cool, because we're going to do some edits on it to adjust that and fix it. So if it's already one way, then you can see the changes a little bit better. So I have this photo up here. And we talked about white balance in our Class Connect recording. So if you haven't watched that, go back and watch it. And it feels a touch warm. So everything's a little bit kind of yellow and almost orangey. Even the water is sort of this tealy color, which is a very warm version of blue or green. So I would like to adjust it so that it's just a little bit more neutral in terms of the type of light. So grabbing my colors menu, to change the white balance, I want to adjust the color temperature right here, and it's number 2 on your list. And then you get this little window, and it's pretty easy to adjust. You can leave the original temperature as is, and then the intended temperature is the one that you want to sort of play with. So if you grab this slider and you shift it up, you'll notice that things get warmer. So everything turns more yellowy red. On the other hand, if I take this and I shift it down below where it was, things get cooler. And if I shift it just slightly down, things start to feel a little bit more neutral, more like the colors that I was able to see that day. So just like black and white photography, when we don't edit our brightness and contrast too far, or our levels or our curves, we don't want to push this one too far either. The goal isn't to get rid of all of the warms. There would still be warms here. There's some orangey tips on the moss. It is in the middle of summer when I took this, so things aren't quite as fresh as they could be. But it does help to neutralize it a little bit. So once you're finished, you can click off and on the preview button to see how it shifted, because it can get kind of difficult to notice it since they are pretty subtle. But this is the before and this is the after. And then you can click OK. One thing that you can also do on your photos is you can create an adjustment layer. So this one's, I'm going to give you the basics since there's a lot you could learn here, but there are some tools up here that will let you pick a certain spot on your photo. The easiest one that you could probably work with is the free select tool. And that's just basically you draw around the area you want to edit or adjust. And it takes some practice to get really good at this with your mouse. But then you click enter and you can see that it's selected now. So I can copy this and paste it. And with GIMP, the thing that it does when you paste a section is it creates a new layer. So this is separate from the original photo. This is above it. And then you'll have to press this little green button, the first one, to kind of confirm, yes, this is what I want to do. So if I hide my original photo, you can see that the selection just focuses on the water part. So I'll unhide that real quick so you can see the results. So if I wanted to make my water even cooler temperature, I could do that if I have the water layer selected. And then I just grab my color temperature and I bring it down even more. Oh, it might be a little bit too high saturation here, which I can adjust to. So I can click OK. And then using my colors menu again, this is a new one. This is tied to color. You can go into Hue and Saturation. And we have hue, lightness, and saturation. Saturation is how pure a color is. So right now it's very blue, a little too blue. It looks pretty fake. So I can bring the saturation down slightly. And I can still have that blue color without being too much. You can also adjust other things. So if you wanted to adjust the color, you would shift the hue. So I could completely change the look of this water. And the lightness and darkness is that. It's how light or dark it is. So I could make it darker too. Then click OK. And then I can hide the top layer and unhide it to see what my changes sort of look like. Select none. Okay. All right, so there's my edits. You now know how you can adjust the color temperature. You know how you can copy and paste selections that you've made with the lasso tool, and how to adjust those selections separately so that you can delete them if you don't like them. If you have any other questions, let me know. Thanks.